watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
And so glad you're watching us here on this Thursday, 6 a.m. I'm Eric Conard.
And I'm Nada Iranpour. And we will start with what's going on with these temperatures. What a ride we've been on for this week, Evan. What's to come here?
So it looks like we're starting to cool down.
Okay.
The downside is that today's cool down is about 5 degrees. Yesterday was about 20 degrees above average.
Okay.
So when you're 20 degrees above average and you drop by 5 degrees, we're still about 15 degrees warmer than average across some of our valley floors. We will notice it, though. I do want to emphasize that we're leaving the 90s behind across a lot of the valleys. So inland, we should be in the 80s today. 79 on average out by the coast this afternoon, 87 for the mountains, and 94 for the deserts. Tomorrow is a additional cooling trend that will really kick us into high gear and help to take us back to a much more fall-like range. So comfortable fall-like starting on Halloween. Here's a live look outside. Sunrise is another hour away. Sunset, it's in the 5 o'clock hour now. 5:59 on that sunset. But remember, we're going to be setting those clocks back an hour as we get into Saturday to Sunday. Overnight, that stretch comes. And we'll be talking more about what to expect into the weekend and next week coming up in just a bit. Back to you. Vanessa. We have a check of traffic with Vanessa Paz. Good morning.
Good morning, Evan. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Let's go ahead and start things off with a live look outside. This is the 5 in both directions at 6th Avenue. For the most part, things are fairly quiet this morning. Good news is you head out the door. You're not looking at any major delays nor slowing. On the 78 in both directions right at Nordal, coming out your screen is that drive as you head into San Marcos from Escondido. Look out for a brush fire potentially on the 5 South right at Palm Avenue. This may impact travel as you're headed out, let's say from the IB San Isidro area via the 5. Let's go ahead and zoom on out and take a quick look at your speeds in from the South Bay, anywhere between 65, 70 miles per hour. In about 8 minutes, we'll take a look at those Thursday travel times. Back to you guys.
Vanessa, thank you very much. And now this morning, city crews are set to install a stop sign right at the intersection where an 11-year-old boy was killed while walking to school earlier this month.
It will be at the intersection of Jackson Drive and Lake Batting Avenue. That's where we find CBS 8's Regina Yarita here this morning. Regina?
Well, Eric and Netta, it's still a somber scene here where 11-year-old Andrew Olson was hit by a car and killed last Monday. Right behind me, you can see candles. There's teddy bears, signs, flowers, everything showing support from nearby neighbors and other family members. Now, part of the issue is that here in this area where we're standing, there's no stop sign, no traffic light, nothing that indicates whether people are crossing, no way to tell drivers that someone is crossing here on this street. The city of San Diego put up notices last week saying stop signs will be installed at the San Carlos site where 11-year-old Andrew Olson was hit by a car and killed last week. His 2 sisters were also injured in the incident as they crossed Jackson Drive at Lake Baden Avenue on their way to school. The driver of the car was not charged. He stayed on scene and performed CPR on the boy, but Olson died at Rady Children's Hospital. The 37-year-old told police he was blinded by the early morning sun. Now, the city says it will reduce the speed limit on Jackson Drive to 35 miles per hour. San Diego told CBS 8 that over the past decade, there has never been a fatal or severe injury crash at this intersection. And of the crashes that have occurred in the past 10 years, none have involved pedestrians. City records obtained by CBS 8 show multiple traffic collisions over the past decade within 1 block of the intersection, and 1 pedestrian hit and injured in 2016 on Jackson Drive. That's 2 blocks from where the boy was killed. But I want you to take a listen to what neighbors have told us so far.
It's so dangerous. It's a blind hill. Cars coming up are going way too fast. They can't see when kids are crossing.
About a year ago, I witnessed a 12 or 13-year-old girl stranded where the yellow paint is on the median.
Now, aside from slowing down the speed limit here in this street, as well as installing stop signs, they are hoping to also reduce the traffic lanes here on Jackson Drive. I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Regina, thanks for the update. A motorcyclist is dead following a crash in Vista last night. It happened around 7 in the 500 block of North Melrose Drive. Sheriff's deputies saying the motorcyclist was traveling northbound when an SUV merged onto North Melrose Drive, heading westbound to Dove Circle. Deputies say the motorcyclist attempted to avoid the SUV, but was ejected and sadly died at the scene. The driver of the SUV is cooperating with investigators. This morning, there is a new push to protect renters and crack down on fees in San Diego.
At 9 a.m., so in a few hours from now, San Diego City Council member Sean Elo Rivera will introduce a new proposal. CBS 8's Chris Grow live downtown to explain what's in this proposal. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And this is a county-city effort. So this is something that they're looking to expand beyond the city of San Diego. But here's more from City Council member Sean Elo Rivera, who, again, as you pointed out, today is expected to introduce this at the committee level.
These quote-unquote junk fees can add hundreds of dollars to a family's housing costs, costs that are often unexpected and very unclear. Today's efforts are about addressing that problem together.
So let's go over what this ordinance would do if it is passed. Well, it would cap rental fees beyond monthly rent at no more than 5% of rent. It would ban fees for basic services that make homes livable, such as pest control or trash collection. It would require full disclosure of all rental costs in listing and lease agreements, protect applicants and tenants from duplicate screening and processing fees, and it would eliminate monthly pet fees, which would be a big one. We also spoke with Rafael Batista, director of San Diego Tenants Union, about this and the junk fees and how it is that this would work. Here's what he had to say.
The amount of fees and how much they can go up by, and in association to what you're paying in rent, I think it's really key to making sure that we can make sure San Diego tries to remain somewhat affordable.
Now, as for, we know that it's Sean Elo Rivera, the council member, will be introducing this at the committee level here today. November 4th is when Monica Montgomery Stepp, the county supervisor, will be introducing that to the county. Eric Netta.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. San Diego is now finally tackling a massive backlog of street and sidewalk safety upgrades, putting your parking meter money to use. So this week, council members approved nearly $2 million in parking meter revenue to pay for those projects. The funds come from the city's Community Parking District program and will be used for repairs in the communities where the money was collected. Crews started work yesterday fixing broken street lights in downtown neighborhoods.
All right, let's take a peek outside after that summer-like day. We're going to have more of a summer-like.
There's a cool down coming.
Day, kind of.
What is today?
Cool down by what, 5 degrees? Is that even a cool down?
Look at that number right there.
Headed the right direction.
Right? It's at least not the 90s that we saw yesterday. We will have a couple 90s, at least it's likely that we'll have a couple low 90s as we get into this afternoon. That's going to be Ramona, El Cajon, for example, maybe. But beyond that, we're looking good. This is that camera again outside. We are hoping for a little bit of light coming through, but again, we're an hour shy of sunrise, so not likely we'll see it. Southeasterly winds are mainly what we'll be holding on to, so we'll stay sunny all day. That easterly component, as long as it is in play, will help to channel those warmer temperatures, those clearer skies. Any easterly flow that we see this afternoon is going to help do the job in kicking those clouds off of the coast and keeping our temperatures in that warmer range. But by the time we get into this afternoon and this evening, we, for the first time in about 2 days, will start to see W on there, westerly flow. So onshore flow will start to prevail tonight into early tomorrow, and that's what's really going to help to cool our temperatures down into tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow, another 10 degrees of cooling that takes us right back down to about average. In some cases, we'll stay a hair warmer than average, but it is a big cool down from this afternoon and a even more dramatic cool down from yesterday afternoon. We thought that we might have a couple clouds out along the coast. There's nothing out there. It is cloudless. In turn, temperatures are a little chilly out there in Ramona at 48 degrees. Out by the coast, we're very mild. 60 in Encinitas, 59 in Del Mar, 61 as we kick off the morning in Chula Vista. And here's that 5-day forecast. Like I said, today is still the standout hottest day. Yesterday was hotter, and then we'll drop going into the weekend, Friday through Sunday, back down to the low 80s out there and even cooler by the time we get to about Monday of next week. Want to send things over to Vanessa Paz, checking in on how things are looking as far as traffic goes as we head into our Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. I was going to say these cameras are a little wonky at this hour. They always take a while to wake up, and thankfully this one is working. But yes, Thursday, also known as Halloween Eve. We're almost to the end of the week and the end of October. This is 8:05 in both directions. Right side of your screen is that drive as you make your way towards Home Avenue, and this is what it looks like on the 5 in both directions, right at Oceanside Boulevard. So far, so good. No major issues nor delays. Look out for potential of a brush fire. We're seeing reports of that on the CAD, and this is on the 5 South right at Palm Avenue, so that could slow things down for you as you head out the door this morning. All right, let's go ahead and zoom on out and see what is happening on our major freeways. We're still not tracking any major brake tapping. A little bit of slowing once you get past the 94, headed up through North Park into University, El Cajon Boulevard as you make your way down the hill into Mission Valley. A tiny bit of brake tapping there. Speeds are increasing. Full span of the Coronado Bridge, about 58 mile-per-hour speeds headed towards the toll booth out of Santee as well as La Mesa. Excuse me, anywhere between 60 to 65 miles per hour, and in from Oceanside as well as Escondido, about 65, 70 mile per hour speeds. So yeah, so far so good out there. Smooth sailing in from Encinitas as well as Escondido. Drive times to get you southbound will take you about 10 to 30 minutes or so. All of those drives headed westbound in from the East County, anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes. And last but not least, here's a look at those travel times out of the South Bay. Full span of the Coronado Bridge, that's not bad at all. I know it's always highlighted in the red. I don't know why, but 5 minutes from downtown to Coronado. About 10 to 17 minutes, meanwhile, if you're headed northbound in from San Isidro and from that 54 highway up to the 8 connector. All right, and 6 to 11 is the time. Let's go ahead and take a look at your border wait times. We are tracking a pair of 60-minute drives for you in from San Isidro as well as Otay Mesa's port of entry this hour.